I was going through something, not necessarily, and they say God won't put nothing too heavy on you. And it wasn't heavy. It was just a process. And so like that's really what it was, Colin. I wasn't in a dark place. It was just me realizing like, damn man, and the lab that I was in was different than the lab that I used to be in.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So just because this might help somebody else listen too, because this is difficult for me and maybe a lot of men, because we, especially like on our caliber of men, like we're constantly like wanting to excel and to grow and to achieve, and we're always looking for like the next goal and the next goal, and we just want this steady progression. And that's not like reality. Like that's not real life, right? Like sometimes you are in a season of just sitting still. Sometimes you're in a season of like surviving.
My mother's son, but you're my mother's son. Cause though your mother has sons, she got other sons. All your brothers call me brother, I'm the other one. And you showed up to be a brother when I wanted one.
What we all needed is more than just a podcast.
It's a community of strong individuals connected on the basis of friendship,
transparency, accountability, healing, and growth. Come join the conversation and share in the space that makes us all better.
Our hope is that you find something that you need.
Real friends. Real friends. Where would I be without my Hey son, who gon' ride for me like my day?
Hey, it's Colin_DCLA, the proud Black educator, like the shirt says, and father, friend, and a bunch of other things, collaborator. Who else we got on here with us today?
Yo, this is your boy at the WWAN, man. The kingdom builder, the culture cultivator, back for season 2. Don't forget the real estate innovator. You know what I mean? Nah, let me stop playing. I'm happy to be back, man, with my peoples, with my fellas. Season 2 is going to be amazing. Don't forget to subscribe to us, man. I'm just really happy to be here. I'm going to go ahead and pass the baton to my boy, Half Man, Half Amazing.
Yo, this is Half Man, Half Amazing. Sean Nichols Sr., truth teller, but never beyond approach or reproach. How everybody doing out there?
I like that. It's not good bars.
Never beyond reproach. I love that. Listen, you should side healer sent to essentially elevate the condition of your spirit and to walk you into your promise, to help you receive all that God got for you, whether I do that through music or coaching or motivational speaking. It's all the same, right? The promise is here and it's coming, and I want all of us to be able to get it.
Man, I feel some kind of way. Nah, I'm about to go back. Hey, you know, the rappers be in the studio like, nah, I'm about to go rewrite my verse. Hold up. Y'all had fire intros. I'm just winging it up here, just freestyling. Y'all all was in the studio writing. Nah, I'm going back. Next episode, new intro coming.
He said, I need to make sure the intro is in alignment with the mission.
Hold on. I got real deep.
How y'all feeling today?
I'm feeling
good, man.
Great on purpose.
Yeah, blessed overall. Yeah, I'm feeling blessed overall, but I'm also in a space where I'm just like, I'm having to practice faith right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As I'm sure we all are, some kind of
agree. Yeah, with that one.
I don't know what just came in my brain. What just came in my brain was a conversation we were having. Might have been a religious conversation we were having about faith and the definition of faith. That would be interesting to know what you're feeling and what you're going through about it. Yeah, but you know, that's an episode for another episode.
Well, we might scratch the surface on this episode today, but if we can, let's roll into the icebreaker if y'all are ready. So we're gonna do this or that. I think that you guys, y'all don't know the rules because it's typically not followed. So let me go over the rules. So
just say Ali, you don't follow the rules.
That ain't just you. Listening is a part of following the rules. But all right, so
actually it's me. I don't be following.
We're gonna go through 10 questions. We have an A or a B. We don't have a middle ground. There's either A or B. And if you all could please choose one at the countdown of 3, 2, 1, I'd appreciate it.
So on 3 or like 3 then go?
3, 2, 1.
Okay, that one, right?
3, 2, 1. And then we gonna show our results. All right. So first question: coffee or tea? 3.
Which one is A? Which one is B, bro?
Coffee or tea?
It's always that one kid in the class.
A and then B. Coffee or tea?
Yeah,
So
be
we're gonna
explicit.
count down.
Be explicit for our listeners.
3,
I mean, Brad.
2, 1. Look,
We don't know what you're drinking, Ali.
He just being defiant. He just being
Yeah.
defiant.
I mean, they also don't know what letter I'm pulling up.
we
to,
have one tea drinker who is usually everybody else picked coffee. Okay.
Don't give me the jitters, man. At my heart.
One of these days,
decaffeinated.
I'm making a C card and I'm gonna just pop up for
I got like 3 or 4 different brands of that
in
mushroom
between
coffee.
questions.
All right. Now I want you to think outside of what you did in the past. I want you to think with hindsight, right? College track or career track? 3.
Hold on, I'm confused about the question. What you asking?
Same.
Would
I
you
don't-
choose the college track or would you choose the career track? Immediately, like coming out of high school, would you
Like
choose
in okay.
the track
I
or
got
would
you.
you choose the career track?
I got you.
Now or looking back, like would I do it different?
Yeah, I said using hindsight, not what you did, which is factual in the past, but using hindsight, what would you choose now coming out of high school? College track or career track? 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I'm the outlier. I would choose the career track. We have everybody else that would choose the college track. Okay, pretty dope perspective. Maybe we could try to talk about that at some point. All right. Next question: forever single or a forever widow? So to have experienced love or to never have experienced love at all, essentially. Forever single or forever widow?
Oh, okay.
3, 2, 1.
I already know you just gonna struggle with that one.
I don't want to speak it into existence, man.
So we have 2 that would have chose to experience love despite losing their spouse. That was Yusha and Kala, and then myself and Ali would prefer to stay forever single.
Oh, wait, I'm wrong then. I misunderstood the question.
All right, on to the next one.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Just for the people that's out there listening who care about me, it's a B.
I know what career track you would not choose is education, because you would be the worst teacher, yeah. You would quit every week.
He could be a PE teacher at an elementary
You
school.
talking about Sean, right?
Yeah.
Nah,
I'm talking about that.
Sean gonna be that teacher and be like, man, I can't make him listen.
Nah, my kids would listen to me. I might be the teacher that might put their hands on their kids.
So you want a teacher to lose your certification. That's the teacher you're going to be.
Yeah, probably so. That's why I'm not in that track. But we're going to move on. All right, next question. Introvert or extrovert? 3, 2, 1. I already know what you're going to pick, Ali. No.
Trying to choose, bro.
For those that don't know, at the Noble One is definitely an introvert. I don't know why
he's an introverted extrovert for sure.
Yeah.
Nah, he an introvert who chooses to be extroverted in order to give people energy when they're around. But if you watch him, he'll find his little way and he'll go back into his own little cave. He'll start moving, doing stuff, getting stuff done because he don't like to be on the same.
What did you put up, Colin? What did you put up?
I put up extrovert.
No, you put up introvert.
Oh, just joking.
Yeah, see y'all niggas, y'all don't listen, bro.
Can I tell y'all a story about Ali?
Man.
It's real quick. Look, what was that? Was that Michelle's party or Colin's party last year when we went to karaoke?
That was mine.
Yeah, Ali got up. He got up life of the party for 3 songs, right? The first song, Ali came over to me and said,
What'd he say?
He said, I'm ready to go. I'm done. I'm at capacity. He said, social capacity. He got up in I'm telling you, life of the party, singing, getting it in for 3 songs. And after 3 songs, like,
All right, that's it. That's all I got.
Disclaimer, dog. Karaoke sinks the life out of me because I'm trash at it. So
I think that's the point of it.
All right. Next question.
Sorry, Mr. Sean.
Cats or dogs? Cats or dogs? 3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna surprise some folks here.
All right. So we have a split vote. We have dogs for Ali and Yusha. Cat for myself and Colin. Okay.
that scared me.
I was pretty surprised by your answer, Colin.
I'm pretty surprised by both of you answers.
If it wasn't for my wife, y'all, we would
To be
have a
honest with
zoo
you.
in this house.
Dog,
I'm limited to one dog because of her.
I love cats, bro.
Cats are majestically scary, dog. They way too agile. I don't want no problems.
I love cats.
And listen to nothing you
And
say.
they have their own specific personality. So I respect it.
They
Like
do.
dogs are very I like dogs, but they're very needy. Or can be very needy.
That's
Cats,
why I
they
said cat.
should. Yeah, they all to themselves.
Oh, yeah, but you got to train your dog how to. It's separation anxiety for dogs. You know what I'm saying? You got to train them how to be able to function without you. Yeah. You can't train a cat.
Yeah, it just proves that again, Sean doesn't have the patience to do much of any training to anybody. Or gotta get ready to go with this Negro.
Now you absolutely right. Outside of my
That's
kids,
a good point.
outside of my kids who warrant training, I need y'all to just pick up and move. Like too heavy, brother.
Nah, what you mean he too heavy? He ain't supposed to be heavy, bro.
Where you pledge at? Where you pledge at? Hey, where you pledge at?
When you seen my hand reach down from the wall?
Where you pledge at?
Huh?
Where you pledge at?
BE, Beta Epsilon.
See, you ain't say
the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
I ain't hear no period. So
and the bloody beta iota. You ain't heavy.
I am the period. So we're gonna move on.
Good.
We're gonna move on. The next one.
Mama
Beer. Say I'm a mama. Respect. All right. Beer or wine? Beer or wine? 3, 2, 1. All right. So we have 2 that chose beer. All right. Let's keep it moving.
You're not going.
Right. Next question. Plane or train? Plane or train? 3, 2, 1.
Hey yo.
Why was that fun to you?
All right. So
because I'm childish.
Ali and I would prefer to ride in the train, and you would prefer to take a plane ride.
He didn't make it better. Just
I said ride in a train. Ride in a train.
Oh God.
That's not pause worthy at all.
that's all right.
It's not about
childish just rubbed off on me.
pause. It wasn't a pause.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I thought you didn't care about that stuff. What's going on? Season 2.
I ain't saying nothing about pause. I retired pause. I'm not pausing nothing. All homo. No pause.
All right.
That's what Diddy said.
Wait a minute.
Next question.
I got that from Sean. I'm giving my references.
Texting or calling? Texting or calling? 3, 2, 1.
I know Sean.
All right, so we have Colin who prefers to text. Everybody else who prefer to call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like. I don't know, bro. Texting be a lot, especially because of how I move. I be moving too much.
Now you gotta do spell checks and the phone be like, bro. There ain't no context. No, bro.
And you know, with texting, what I realized.
Can we go to the next question, please?
Nope. I had to realize, and I started doing this with a close friend. what we do is we send videos back and forth to each other, talking to each other, because it makes it more personal. What I realize is with text, I have the option to choose to open it up or to push it off. And so it's just like there's no like personal connection for me.
I
So
like that.
yeah, I don't like texting.
If I had it in between, it would be like voice notes or videos. I just like the ability to be able to have multiple conversations with different people at the same time on text.
True.
But you're right, it's not as personal. Ali, you know it's only on his time. When he wants to elaborate, we elaborate. If Sean don't want to elaborate, there's no elaboration. This next question.
Yeah, I just want the listeners and the subscribers to know that. That's
I've
been doing pretty good with letting y'all jump in pretty much after every single question. After every single question. See, Ali, bro, you itchy to say balls this year.
This should be the last question, man. We on 15 minutes. Don't nobody want to draw this out.
Action movies or comedy movies? Action movies or comedy movies?
That's actually hard.
3, 2, 1.
Depends on the night.
All right. So I chose action movies, and we have everybody else who chose comedy movies.
Depends if we trying to Netflix or chill.
Hey, Sean, would you consider Bad Boys comedy or action?
I would consider it an action comedy, but if I had to choose just one, I would consider it an action. Because I think about like watching a movie like on mute potentially, and it would definitely be an action.
Yeah, I struggle with that joint.
Well, how do you watch comedy on mute in it?
Well, I mean, watching a movie, period. Like if you watching it in the background and you got music on, or if you like, just moving around, it just might be playing in the background.
That sounds like.
But every time you look at the screen and watch Bad Boys, for the most part, it's going to be action.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with your limits.
But hot take, I ain't really a fan of Bad Boys though, like that. Well, I would say after the first one.
Oh, okay. Now, ain't Will Smith your favorite actor?
Nah, he's my favorite entertainer. But yeah.
You just like him all the way through. That's what's up. All right, Sean, thank you for leading this or that. Thank you for leading this or that. We are back, y'all. See, here's the important thing about this particular episode. This is our first episode of the season. Fellas, we back.
Season 2.
Back. For those of you who were riding with us first season, listen, we love it. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. We are friends, and we love to prioritize and push the friendship and our connection and relationship with God. But sometimes, like all people, we get caught up in life. And we don't really get the chance to catch up like we really know we should be catching up or doing the things we know we need to do. So listen, fellas, this all started with friendship. We know where it started at, right? During the pandemic, specifically looking for ways to connect and build with each other, we started this Saturday devotional where, us and even a few other guys who would get on Saturdays, every other Saturday, and we would just chop it up and catch up and just try to build some community and sense of like normalcy during the pandemic. And so post-pandemic, we decided to start this podcast because we knew that this was a space that we needed, and if we needed it, someone else may need it. And so in the spirit of how we started this joint, y'all, where y'all at? What's going on? Let's catch up real quick.
Yeah, because we ain't talked in like probably since before the holidays. For real.
Yeah.
What y'all got going on?
Really caught up, yeah.
I say I can go. It's a lot of different directions I can go. So I don't know if we want to start in a certain category of topics. I will say what I'm first being led to is that spiritually, and in terms of my relationship with God, I'm in a season of reconnecting. Just the busyness of life, and typically what can happen, and I'm working to do a better job of this. But when you get busy and you get on autopilot and you just moving, the things that should be most important tend to be things you take for granted and don't prioritize time and effort into, which for me happened in my relationship with God, So my prayer life decreased, my scripture reading decreased, my time praying with my wife and my family decreased. And I've gotten to that point now where, it's kind of like when you get overweight, you look in the mirror and you like, I got to get myself together and discuss with myself. I got to that point where I feel too distant from God, and I feel just disconnected from my, inner spirit. So I'm getting back in practice, man. I'm getting back in the spiritual gym, getting back right. Non-negotiable 10, 15-minute time with God every morning when I wake up, even before I hit the gym, even before I get on my phone and do anything else. Increasing my prayer time, my study time. That's kind of a big area where I'm at right now. Back in it.
Yeah, that just hit my spirit real tough. You know what? I know we early for that. I got something that I really want to share with y'all and talk about, but I'm gonna say that for Patreon because it's a little heavy, and I'm gonna let the people who come to Patreon come into that heaviness. But you know, that hit my spirit. I resonate with that deeply.
Yeah. I got finished reading the Quran, bro. I ain't finished it. I'm like, I was in it for a minute and then I stopped. But you know what happened, Yusha? Because remember, I asked you like, hey, so for my first time reading it, like, which translation should I read? And you gave me a recommendation, and I couldn't find the audiobook, but I found another one. I started listening to it, and then I lost it. Like, I couldn't find that same translation. I didn't like any of the other audiobooks I was finding. So I was like, you know what? I need to just order it on Amazon and actually read it. So I am about to order it because I want to finish that thing.
Well, you know what? I want to send you an invitation, man. Ramadan starts March 1st. You know what I'm saying? And we got to read the entire Quran in 30 days. So, you know what I'm saying?
What's the regimen of that? How much a day do you have to read to get through the whole thing?
Oh, every physical Quran is broken down into what they call 30 juz. And so when you get your Quran, I'll show you, but it's already broken down in there. So it'll show you where to stop at each day.
Say less. I'm down. Anybody else? I'm not just talking to y'all, but in our listeners in the community that want to join in on that. Hey, like, if you obviously, like, if you're Muslim, you're going to be doing it anyway. But for those that are not, like myself, and are just curious and just want to continue to explore and grow spiritually, hey, that's a great challenge. March 1st. I'll make sure I have it ordered before then.
Hey, Colin, I wanted to tell you, man, I can resonate with just, I don't know if you said reconnecting or getting closer with God, but mine is in specific. It's like increasing my faith through acts, and the reason why I'm saying that is, man, I realized that 24, I was paralyzed, like just idled in my own thoughts, idle in my own actions, and a lot of things happened in 24 that caused me. You know, I got in an accident. I didn't get a job that I was shooting for. My wife had a new job, so transitioning at home. So a lot of things kind of just kept me idle, even with my own business. So this year is really more about not being idle, really taking action despite not really knowing, right, what the next phase of my life gonna look like. And the reason why I say that too is because y'all know I turned 40 last year. So I mean, I don't know if it's a thing or if it's not a thing, right? But particularly for me, it was more about, it was trying to figure out what this new part of my life is going to look like, right? Because I realized that everything that I did up until 24, which was good work, but it was time for a change, right? I didn't really necessarily know what that change was. I still kind of don't, but I know in this new phase, it's about reestablishing like my new methodology, my new way of like pursuing life, the way I think about life. So I spent a lot of time, man, the last month really just reestablishing my goals, reestablishing my targets, reestablishing myself. I'm probably getting a little too more into working and winning, but that's really been what's been going on with me. And then health-wise, I think I've been telling y'all just offline, at 40, man, I don't know what's happening, but what's happening is me thinking more about my health more than anything. Like, I wake up thinking about my health, you know what I mean? And then just hearing about so many men around me, so many people around me in my age group going through some health issues too, right? Or not health issues, but like now it's the time where like health is becoming a number one priority as a Black man, right? Just to be honest with you, man, it's terrifying. And so I've been increasing my faith and my action through that just to make sure I realize that like you only get one temple, you only get one life, you only get one like journey, right? And so I'm not choosing to live in a space of fear over my body, because that's not what I'm here for, right? I'm not here to live in a fear over my body. I'm here to use my body as a weapon to like fight. And that's just talking, man. I'm just rapping to y'all. So
Yeah.
that's just kind of like where I'm at.
Nah, but I wanna and I don't know how much you wanna discuss here in this space or on Patreon or offline, but I wanna go back to like your 2024 challenges. Because you said some things that, well, I don't want to assume, but like, were you in a dark place or a low place, or like where were you with some of those obstacles in 2024?
Oh, and not to mention we started a podcast. But no, I wasn't in a dark place because there was so much good happening around me, right? My wife
Mhm.
turned 40, she got a new job. Even me realizing that like there was more life after the accident that I've been in, me
Mhm.
realizing that like I had to focus and finding out that like there's a new journey in front of me. It's not necessarily I was in a dark place. I was really paralyzed because I didn't know which way to like go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, y'all know me, I'm okay with sitting and
Mhm.
reflecting and like analyzing. And so like I wasn't in a dark place, I was in the lab, really. Like it was almost like
Mm.
pledging. You know what I mean? If anybody's pledged, it was almost like being pushed through a process. A process I quite frankly asked for because I was looking for change. And if anybody knows that, right, you want to be elevated or change, like you got to go through something. And like I was going through something, not necessarily, and they say God won't put nothing too heavy on you. And it wasn't heavy. It was just a process. And so like that's really what it was, Colin. I wasn't in a dark place. It
Yeah.
was just me realizing like, damn man, and the lab that I was in was different than the lab that I used to be in.
Right.
Figuratively. Right.
Yeah.
So
So just because this might help somebody else listen too, because this is difficult for me and maybe a lot of men, because we, especially like on our caliber of men, like we're constantly like wanting to excel and to grow and to achieve, and we're always looking for like the next goal and the next goal, and we just want this steady progression. And that's not like reality. Like that's not real life, right? Like sometimes you are in a season of just sitting still. Sometimes you're in a season of like surviving, and I was watching last Sunday, what they call it, Bedside Baptist, right? We was watching church on YouTube because we didn't go to church. Actually, I think they were closed because of the weather down here. But hadn't listened to Mike Todd in a while. We had Mike Todd on Transformation Church, and he was just talking about like the different seasons he had gone through since he became pastor. And one of them years, he was like, "Yeah, this was a survive year." It was just like God was just like, "Yo, just survive everything you going through. Like I don't need you, or just maintain. Like I don't need you to strive, thrive, nothing. Like just survive this." And then the next season was like, "All right, now we're gonna keep moving." And he was talking about like some people struggle in those seasons because you trying to thrive when you supposed to just survive. Like the enemy is attacking from every angle, life just lifing, and you sitting here trying to still progress. And it's like, nah, this not the season for that. Just sit still and survive this.
yeah, I don't
And
want to take that.
that was like mind blowing to me, because I'm like, dang, that's why I be getting so frustrated sometimes, because I'm sitting here trying to move and I'm supposed to just sit still and be right here.
Coming out of Black History Month, man, that made me thought about the movie 12 Years a Slave. When he was like, man, I don't want to survive, I want to live. But it's like in context, because I'm a visual person. In context, when I heard you say that, it's like, dog, like sometimes you're in situations where trying to thrive will get you killed. When God is saying, sit where you are, I got you, survive. Even if I take it back to biblical or scriptural context, even the story of Joseph, when they put Joseph in jail for all them years because he didn't want to, mess with the high priest's wife. He stood and he survived. And then when it was time for God to elevate his condition. And so what I love about that in context to you, Ali, is that if we follow scripture, or if we follow like how God has worked with people, whether it be through Joseph or it be through Moses, or if it even be through just the people of Israel, after a period of lowliness, or what could appear to be lowliness, right? With the right posture with God, he always shows that like he elevates those people to the highest station in that land. You know what I'm saying? And so you know, we go through them periods so that we can become something different. And what I love about what you said though is a spiritual law too, right? It's the law of polarity. And it's we could choose to say, hey, this isn't going right, things are bad, you know, I didn't get this, and we could live in that space. But faith says, always know that there's no such thing as good or bad. There is always progression, right? Especially if we follow Jeremiah 29:11, I know the plans I have for you. So God is saying, like, oh, don't see this as a deficit or a decline or a difficult moment. See this as, you know, preparation for where I'm taking you. And if you have that level of faith and focus, or you can just find the good things in your life, like you said, there was some good things going on too. That you can keep your spirit in a place of gratitude, and God can bless you even in what looks like a troubling season.
Yeah, that's real, man. Sean, what you been up to, bro?
About the same. I mean, that's why I really haven't jumped in, because it's nothing really different that I can say. I can empathize with a lot of what you stated, Colin, as it pertains to the spirit, with what you stated, Ali, as it pertains to like just stagnation. For me, I wouldn't necessarily say that I was paralyzed. I would say that I fell off from practicing a lot of the small intentional things continually every single day that would keep me anchored or grounded, right? That provide like those guardrails as I journey. And because I have not been doing that, my guardrails kind of went away. And so now I find myself kind of straying off of the guided path, quote unquote, whether it be chasing certain business ventures, whether it be certain things that I watch, or, you know, just being fatigued, right? Because now you're not driving on a paved road, you're driving on gravel. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I empathize with all of it, man. And for me, it's crazy because, you know, you find that you speak this to other people more often than you may even remind yourself of the need, right? But what I've been telling specifically my niece is to just lay a brick a day, just focus on laying a brick a day. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where I am, where I need to get back to, like just focusing on what can I do today, and then let everything else, let me worry about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I want to say
Brick by brick.
something to this concept of surviving, and I think what you do when you survive, when you're surviving, and giving power to the fact that like there has been some really good things in it, right? And like not just giving power to like the negative things that you're going through and what comes out of that. Because last year, my family thrived, right? My girls in school and my daughter went from, you know, hating math to loving math. My youngest daughter, she went from just starting gymnastics to really being like at the height of her, you know, just loving gymnastics, right? Finding some passion in gymnastics. My wife was able to pick a career, just up and leave her job and get a better career with benefits. You know what I mean? She turned 40. Everybody was healthy. You understand what I'm saying? One of the biggest things that happened for me that I knew I was intentional about was building my community. And it happened, right? I got closer with y'all. My relationships with y'all got closer, intentional, right? I remember me and you talking at the very beginning of the year about our relationship last year, a lot, right? And the fast forward now, it's gotten a lot closer, right? That was intentional. So a lot of things that I said that I wanted to do in terms of cultivating my community, being a kingdom builder, right? Being, you know, getting together with some of my old friends, and a lot of that stuff happened. And I want to make sure that like we give power to this idea that like when you are choosing to be in the lab and choosing to quote unquote survive, it's not a space of like defeat, right? And it's also a space of when you choose to go there, it's what you do, right? There's a song out there, I forget what it's called, Waiting on the Lord or something. I'll get the song for y'all, but right, it's what you do when you wait. It's what you do when you wait, right? And it always doesn't look like what you think it's supposed to look like. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure I speak to that, Joe.
No, that's real.
Yeah, because there's a lot of talk about like what Black men are going through, but not giving enough power to like what's happening and the good things that's coming out of that, because we're still here and we still pushing. So I just wanted to make sure we keep elevating as well as, you know what I mean, reflecting and analyzing.
Let me ask you a question about what you just said, Ali. What do you think is the origin of that, as to why, what is publicized is what you just said, like the fact that, it's not a lot of credence that's given to everything that a Black man is dealing with?
One, because it's real trauma and triggers, right? So one is it's a part of the healing process in general, just to acknowledge, right? But there is a overindulgence on, right, the traumas and the triggers. So you know what I mean, and it's being 10 times multiplied through social media, right? And so what I think why that's the case is it's always been the case for a Black man to put the trauma in your face, right? And for us to hold it as a reason to like push through. You know what I mean? One of the famous things that we hold high is like rappers and entertainers and sports figures, right? And the biggest thing they glorify in that situation, right, is a Black man going through a struggle and the result of it being like a quote unquote money in a win, right? And so like that's just why. You ask me why. That's just society. That's the reason why. But I am trying to, and we are trying to build a community, right? And you should speak about it a lot, where we really need to balance this out and bring more power to this concept of like, nah, bro, like you going through that, but like you gotta see that like God isn't only taking you through this just so that you can overindulge in that, but like overindulge in the result, the process, the pushing through, and be anchored by that. We're not anchored by the success, right? We anchored by the trauma.
I'm looking up something for y'all. Somebody else is trying. I got something I want to share though. Make sure I got the right words.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely understand what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying. I guess I'm just more so curious as to what we can do to break those chains, quote unquote, right? Which one thing that we've done is we've created a community, right? But once you create that community, you have to be intentional about speaking to that community, about seeking, assistance from that community, even if that's in the form of support. But then also being intentional about giving back to the community and nurturing that soil. And I think that we are doing a good job, but we have a lot of work to grow. We have a lot of work to do, even within the intentional community that we built. We started off this episode talking about how we haven't caught up really since the holidays, which life is life. We all know that. But it's crazy how as soon as we start talking, you see the connective threads in what we've been experiencing.
Because we so connected, we're gonna experience things together, which is why it's important for us in this community to highlight and celebrate, to talk about everything, but to highlight and celebrate the wins and to stay in a spirit of gratitude, because birds of a feather flock together. You are who you hang around. And so I've experienced that too over the course of years with closer friends. Like it's like what people experience, we all kind of start to experience it. So, my hope is that we always help each other find the good, because then that's going to be the space. Like y'all said something that was key. So in workforce development, right? I know I do some workforce development leadership training. And one of the things I would have people do is take like these 5 categories, right? Religion, family, career and work, personal growth, and health. And I would have them put them in order. And typically my order would always have relationship as the last thing of importance to me, right? Not that it's not important, but as the last thing of importance to me, because my thought process was, if I ain't tapped in with God, if I ain't personally growing, if I ain't making no money and my health ain't good, what good am I to other people? The problem with that perspective is that's a perspective from 10 years ago. But the problem with that perspective now is even based on what we're saying today. I was looking at, as a Black man, I was only looking at relationships as it connected to my responsibility to people, and never looking at relationships in terms of people's responsibility to me, right? And so it was always, relationships to me was always the thing I got to last when I had enough energy to bless people. What community is teaching me is that relationships should have been higher on the meter, because what I've learned is that I ain't the superhero I thought I was. And in my most difficult times, I needed the people. You know, prime example, we hadn't talked since before the holidays, not since the holidays, since before the holidays. And one of the things that I want to catch y'all up on is the experience that I got to have. So y'all know I've been in DC, 15, Gianna 16, so 15, 16 years. And in this 15 to 16 years, I've never had, let me speak more affirmatively. This was the first year, and I hope, you know, it continues, that I've had the ability to just go home and sit, right? Being a full-time entrepreneur, I can kind of make those decisions differently. And I went home and had the ability to just sit and be. And when I say sit and be, I mean not think about work, because I wasn't sitting still. I wouldn't think about work. I was thinking only about family. So I spent time with my first cousins on my mama's side, had a chance to catch up with a family that my dad used to go to church with, and you know, that I was real close with growing up. Got to chill with my aunties on both sides, my Aunt Baba Jean, my Aunt Eva. Got a chance to talk to my Aunt Elsie, spent some time with my sister, my cousin, even came back for a little bit for my birthday, and y'all did pull up for the birthday, and then went back to North Carolina with Gianna, got to spend some time. Like, dog, I got to see my brother. Like, I really had time, like 2 weeks in Reedsville, Greensboro area, to just sit and be with family. And one of the best experiences I had was sitting with my father's family, my father's first cousins. My father's first cousin, my cousin Ronnie, 81. His sister Peggy, 82. When I tell you Peggy still go bowling, I called Ronnie one morning. He said, man, I just left the gym. When I tell you sitting with family, they loved up on me, and Gianna, with no expectation. It was free love. And I said, oh, that's really why the relationships is key. Because it put energy into you when you don't have it to give yourself. And it's not that you won't have to give it to yourself, but I feel like in isolation mode, because Black men, we know it, we go in isolation mode. In isolation mode, it's really stuck on you and God. And the thing is, God is not like, I'm not saying that like God ain't the source that you can lean into, but God uses people. And so what happens is when you sit in isolation, you're trying to get yourself back to a higher frequency or high vibration. But the real thing that you need, which is the highest vibration on the planet, is love. And it's in the relationships that you've pushed away.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's that balance, y'all. I know we got transition, but I just want to share this real quick. It's that balance, right? And I think that's how I ended up getting in this space where I was just like, now I got to get back in my regiment, because I was enjoying that space so much of just like, I just be, and everything's not a hustle and bustle, and, you know, being in education, having a couple weeks off for the break and all that. And I was just like waking up, just like, I ain't on no schedule. I'm just, you know, I'm here. And then I was like, all right, I got to get back in some routine now, though. But being a visual person like you should, this gets me thinking about a song and a visual with that song. So one of the dopest rappers, I think, out of Detroit, is a guy by the name of Royce the 5'9", and my favorite Royce song is Caterpillars. And just thinking about that, like, hey, put some respect on them caterpillars when they in that cocoon season, man. Like, we always talk about the butterflies, but you know, so this part of the song right here, and y'all should definitely go check out the song when you get a chance. Next to you that don't want the best for you. It's completely normal to hold on to a regret or two. I do what I want to do, they do what I let them do. Everything niggas be saying is a effing lie. It's nothing I can say to you that is realer. Remember, when you praising the butterfly, don't you ever disrespect the effing caterpillar. You know, and it just got me thinking about, hey, listen, if you in that caterpillar cocoon season, man, like, you don't get to the butterfly without that, you know? So I just had that visual. I was talking about this survival, this, you know, y'all don't see the flashy bells and whistles, but I'm in this season right here where we're doing a lot of great work. So I just wanted to share that before we transition. But
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. I think this is a good point and good segue into what we're talking about in terms of just making sure we stay uplifted, making sure we continue to stay connected, which means season 2 is going to be even more and more of us, maybe even less of us, because we're bringing more guests, right? We're having more IG live events when we're bringing in more people to talk about what they're going through so we can stay connected. We collaborating with other people. Shout out to Still Standing, man. Yep. That's coming. And we gonna spotlight some community people, man. People in the community. You know what I mean? We got some business people. We got some just dope fathers. We got some dope mothers. We got some business women, right? That we want to rap to on our community spotlight. So, yeah, man. Colin, tell us a little bit more about the community spotlights, bro.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, y'all will see this starting next episode, guys. But definitely want to have a new segment called Community Spotlight. And if you have, whether it's a business, like he said, or like it's a nonprofit or whatever kind of work you're doing out in the community, we want to allow you to use our platform to highlight that, because we want to be intentional in the type of work we do and sharing that out with everybody. So if you're one of those people, please connect with us. You can hit us in the DMs, in the comments, and we'll make sure we get you lined up to shout you out on an upcoming episode, or maybe even on some of the other platforms we have. Also, just some other updates, guys. We're going to 2 episodes a month now. So we used to drop only once a month. We're going 2 a month. One of these days we'll get like the big wigs out there that got big budgets, and we'll go to every week. But we need y'all help in the community to get there. So as you see things coming out, guys, if you are enjoying this, the easiest way to contribute to the work that we do and continue is to just join Patreon. We have different levels, and it's just a few dollars a month helps us out a great deal, and you get extra access and content and different resources as in response to that. But also, if you just want to donate to us, we'll have some things out there where you can just donate some funds so we can continue to do the work we do. We're going to be doing some more IG lives. Yusha has a great segment coming up called Tap In Thursdays, where we're going to be able to connect with him in the mornings. And I'm probably going to be joining in on a lot of those, man, and just getting our spirits right, going into the end of the week and the weekend. And then I'm going to be doing bringing back Car Talks with Colin, and I'm going to be consistent with that. Also, going to be a lot of guests on that. Like we talked about, more guests.
Can I get an invite to Car Talk? Can I
come on, man? Anytime, man. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be an evening thing. It's gonna be in the evenings. But yeah, and then as we stated, Still Standing. We're gonna be at that conference this year. That's a big thing, fellas. Tickets will be out soon. If they're not out already, we'll have all the links there for you guys. But the first year Still Standing conference will be open to men and women. So it's a great time, man. You don't just got to buy your lady a ticket for Mother's Day. You can go with her. It could be a whole family affair. Your mom, your sister, your wife, whoever, anybody.
Or you might meet a lady there.
Hey, listen, you know what I mean? Because singles come through, and that's gonna be major. It's gonna be at Ivy City Smokehouse this year, so they doing big things for all my people in the DMV. Am I missing anything?
Yeah, hey, don't be surprised, man, if you see that logo next to Colin on a hat or somewhere, man. Just don't be surprised, man. We moving forward, trying to get some big things coming your way.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, when we do get that, we're gonna do Patreon for our folks. Speaking of Patreon, I don't know if any of y'all have anything a little more personal y'all want to share. I do got a little bit of drama at work I'm dealing with right now. I haven't had a chance to talk to y'all about, which I said I don't want to talk about at all on here live. But you know what? I am gonna talk about it on Patreon for our Patreon subscribers. So for our Patreon folks, tap in. If you're not a Patreon subscriber, and you just want to be nosy, join Patreon. You can see this conversation we're gonna have about a little bit of my work drama with the fellas.
I mean, some of the episodes we got coming, they teeter on between should they be on Patreon or not. I mean, I could just think of one live episode we did for season 2, bro. I feel like the whole episode might need to be on Patreon. You know what I mean? But season 2 gonna be hot.
Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. I keep telling you, look, the more we do this, the better we get. I'm proud to just see the progression that we've made in terms of how we record, how we function with each other, and how we show up in this space. But of course, the key here, man, is just to truly be in alignment with our 7 pillars. We want y'all to know that this season is about being in alignment with our 7 pillars, because these are the things we do. Sean, can you give them the 7 pillars again? Make sure they're clear and they understand what our pillars are.
Sure. Friendship, transparency, accountability, healing, safety, growth, and community.
So a lot of the conversations, thank you, Sean, is going to just make sure that we're in alignment with that, right? We want to build that with each other. We want to build that for you, and we want to build it with you. And so we're also just thinking about ways that y'all can be more a part of what we do. So whether it ends up coming, listen, we don't know what God gonna do. We gonna do what we gonna do, but we know the God factor be kicking in when he be ready, right? So we just want you to stay ready, because we might be like, hey, we're gonna do a fellas retreat, pull up. Or we might be like, hey, we're going to go, do this thing, pull up. We're going to do this event, pull up. So we want you to be in mind that, like, we got things planned this season and season to come. But when God moves, we respond. And we're putting ourselves in position to be able to respond so that we can create a space that we all need, where more people can come get that thing that's needed. Anybody? Do we miss anything on just updating folks on what we got coming?
Nah, I thought you about to Nah, we good. I think we got it.
I
forgot about the in-person events. My bad.
So listen, new season, but some things got to stay the same, man. If you woke up this morning, if you can see, hear, smell, taste, and feel, your body works. And if your body works, you can win. And what we tell you is, if your body works, not only do you have everything you need to win, but you can help somebody else win. So in this segment, we talk about how we're working, but then we always give some food for thought, right? Something that you can use to help you win, because the real thing for us is sharing the information, sharing the win, so that other people can get to it. I'm going to start with Ali, and then Ali, you can choose whoever after that.
For sure, man. Early in the conversation, I talked about having to reestablish and maybe birth anew, right? And some of the things that I found in that is my business. Some of you know I got a real estate company, and just doing an end of the year retreat, we looked at our business model and found out we need to change our business model, right? We want to get a little more aggressive in some of our revenue generation, right? We've been in this process for 10 years, probably just slow growth, and just where we are and what our goals are, we have to align that with. So we're changing our business, completely changing it, which calls for new training, new development, and new things like that. And one of the things that I've been using is just training my own self, right? Reinvesting in my own self, looking at Market Mondays from EYL, just making sure that I'm always in line with the new business strategies and the new market for the real estate environment. So I'm going to be watching CNBC and just staying abreast of that. And one of the things that I just purchased recently is a book by EYL, Rashad Bilal and Troy Millens, called You Deserve to Be Rich. And there's some part in there in terms of like creating certain strategies that help. It says create income building strategies outside of your 9-to-5, from investing to side hustles, right? Use passive income to put you in control of your time and lifestyle, and master some tax things. All in line in terms of where my wife and I are at 40 and up, and trying to make sure that we hit certain things.
No, who you passing it to?
I'm going to pass it to Colin.
All right, working and winning. One of the other things I didn't update y'all on is getting older sucks physically sometimes. Because in my mind, I feel like I'm still fresh out of college, but my body is reminding me, nah, buddy. So I've been suffering like chronic back pain lately. And I went to the chiropractor a little bit ago, and they like, yeah, your spine all jacked up, bro. You're going to need quite a few sessions. Like, I'm going to have to be in there like twice a week for a little bit, and then like every week, and then it'll scale back to like every other week, monthly, and so on. So yeah, dealing with that. A couple other things, like even with my eyes, I think I got to start wearing glasses now for being on the screen all day. So that part sucks, but that's the work that I'm on right now. Just really like taking care of my body and being intentional about it. So I'm recognizing like I can't sleep I can't sleep on my side. I gotta sleep on my back, and I might gotta take a break on the weights in the gym until I get this thing together. But one of the things I found in that, just the win I want to share, is yoga. Something I've done before sporadically, but I'm intentional about it like every day now. And even 10-15 minutes a day of yoga. And when I tell y'all, at the start of my day, right after my workout, it's the most amazing feeling. It's the only thing that is kind of helping with the back pain right now. But it's also a moment of just like silence and peace and reflection. And it's non-negotiable for me at this point. Like, starting my day off with that has just been so fruitful. So it's one of them things where, and everybody in the gym like lifting and pushing and got that music on, stuff like that. And then I'd be over in the corner like, you know, like doing my yoga poses and all that, and I don't even care, you know, I'm not embarrassed by it. So I just want to encourage some of the men out there who have never tried it, and it's just like, nah, I ain't doing that. Like, nah, it's some really good black yogis out there and yoga instructors. Like, check them out, man, and tap into that yoga community. Might change your life, man. Try it out. Passing to Yusha.
Hey, look, I just want to start first and foremost and tell you that black coaches out there, black coaches who really care about their student athletes, you should have all of them doing yoga. The core work, the balance, the way that you maintain your body and the postures. Half of these athletes who y'all talking about, like, you think yoga is easy. Get to do some of the yoga, strength-based yoga practices. It ain't easy. But coaches who really care about their kids, put all them cats on yoga.
Yep.
No, all no yoga. Working for me, man, essentially what I'm working on right now is, and then we've talked about this before, but it's still in full effect, right? It's in full effect. With Great Care, was able to get a partnership with Teach for America to offer executive coaching, executive leadership coaching to aspiring leaders, teachers, those who are in education, who are looking to move into the leadership realm. And so we have a list of clients that we're working for. Those people will be put up on the With Great Care website and on LinkedIn. But the goal is just to spotlight who those folks are. But they are moving in a space of leadership, and we are glad to have that partnership to be coaching them towards that. Shout out to Dr. Crystal Ward and then Coach Tylisha Hooker, who are also working with me to coach those folks and get them to where they need to be. My win for y'all, my food for thought of y'all is my book list for the year. So every year, one of the things that I do when I sit down and get started is I kind of think about how do I want to grow this year, mentally, physically, spiritually, etc. So I have a book list. My book list is broken down into 4 categories. The 4 categories is books on spirituality, books on love and relationships, books on finances, and then books on how to do business. I'm going to share my book list. So if you look down below right now in our YouTube, my book list is actually down below. It's actually in the description so you can have it. But some of the books on that book list, I'll throw them out, which are really important to me. Blue Ocean Strategy is one of the business books. It's three for each category. I'm gonna give you one from each category. Blue Ocean Strategy is one of the business books that I'm taking on. Spiritually, I'm reading a book called The Untethered Soul by Michael Ringer. Relationship-wise, my friend gave me this. I'm gonna give you both of them. So these are books by Miles Monroe. One is Understanding the Purpose and Power of Men, and the other one is Understanding the Purpose and Power of Women. I'm gonna get both of those done this year. And then finance, I'm finishing up the Psychology of Money because, if you're seeing this episode right now, it's Ramadan, and I'm really on the Quran right now. But I'm going to finish up the Psychology of Money after that. And then there's a book called The Big Short, which is connected to finance. And, you know what I'm saying, just because I love black owners, I'm going to cop that EYL book. You know what I'm saying? Why not?
Yeah, it is.
Big Short. Have you seen the movie Big Short?
Good movie.
Sean, it's on you, Playboy.
Yeah, so mine is physical as well, similar to Colin. My work is working on getting healthy. This past year, my youngest child is 1. And so long story short, this whole year has not been about me. What I've noticed is that my physical has declined greatly to my standard, right? Went to the doctor. Long story short, my doctor told me, you come in again with high readings, I'm going to put you on pills, right? Had high LDL cholesterol levels, high hemoglobin A1C levels. So, high cholesterol, pre-diabetic, will not be going down that route. That was like the wake-up call for me. I'm not taking insulin. I'm not going to be on pills. And so what that did for me was that then motivated me to begin to do further research on how I could reverse that. Looked into the definition of medicine and found out something very, very intriguing. So the definition of medicine, the medical definition of medicine, is the science or practice of the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of disease, or prevention of disease. In technical use, often taken to exclude surgery. A compound or preparation used for the treatment or prevention of disease, especially a drug or drugs taken by the mouth, right? So that's like an A or B. It is, you could take medicine, or it is the science or practice that will allow you to treat and prevent, right? What I found in continuing to do my research, I came across a video, which this is the WWAN. I came across a video essentially where a medical professional was talking about the medical definition of medicine and how you don't have to go the route of being prescribed or even taking pills. What he said was that we don't utilize our rights as citizens, as patients, by asking for something in what is called a letter of medical necessity. The letter of medical necessity, once you have been diagnosed with the high cholesterol or the pre-diabetic status, you can request that letter of medical necessity, and the letter of medical necessity then allows you to be able to go and attempt to prevent those diagnoses, in the form of potentially getting a gym membership, right? And so the beauty in having that letter of medical necessity is that you can then get that gym membership, but then your HSA will pay for it. And so that's the beauty in it, right? Because if anybody is like me, you find you make concessions because of your responsibilities. I have 4 kids, so it just doesn't financially make sense for me to put my money in that bucket over there when I have other priorities that I need to focus on. But if my HSA is going to pay for it, right, and I can get reimbursed for it, then that is the motivation that I need. And so we'll see transformation over the months, just because I have a sheer desire to live, bro. Like, and like you said, getting older sucks, at least for me.
Yeah, that's real. Free gym membership, baby.
What gym you going to?
For me, it's probably going to be Planet Fitness, just because of where we live in the DMV area, the amount of Planet Fitnesses that are in drivable reach, depending on where I am throughout the DMV.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm at LA Fitness and Planet Fitness, but I'm also say this: we know what it is. My crib, pull up, we got the gym. That's part of the community too, man, helping each other get in shape. Listen, I love the fact that we're back. I love the fact that we're catching up and we're making sure that we get it. But I love that in our off season and our training, we said we were going to prioritize friendship and God. And that's going to be first for us, right? We love the business. We love the aspect of growing the podcast, and it's super dope. But for y'all, we want y'all to know this is really about friendship for us. It's really about community and relationship. And it's God, relationship, or friendship, and then business. And in that order. And we ain't breaking that order. So we want to welcome y'all back to our season 2, but we really just want to welcome y'all back to our friendship. And hopefully we can grow our community and make more friends with like-minded people like you.
Or we will inspire others to go and seek their village.
Yeah.
When?
Create something similar. All right, fellas, we're going to get ready to pray it out. And then for our Patreon folks, we'll catch y'all over there for a little, I don't call it tea, I call it coffee, for a little work coffee for me. And anything else anybody wants to share. Who wants to pray us out today?
I'll pray us out.
Let's get it.
All right. All hearts and minds clear. Dear Dad, we come to you today. We want to give you thanks. We want to thank you for providing us with yet another day, not only to live, to breathe, and to see another day on your earth, to walk in your will and purpose, but also to just speak about how good you are in our lives. We thank you for providing us with this village. And we pray that as this village continues to grow and refine, that we are planting seeds in fertile soil that will one day bear fruit for all to be able to indulge. We pray that as others indulge on the fruit that bears from the tree that we are growing, that they are then able to take that to extract those seeds from that fruit and to continue to replant, to plant and replant. Thank you for everything that you're doing for us. And we know that all of this is it is to glorify your kingdom. So just continue to guide us along the way. So in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I mean, my guy.